Hey guys, we're back working on the 2012 Dodge Durango. Today's project is replacing the driver's front fender. Me being the genius that I am, towing our trailer this last summer, parking it for camping, and was trying to back the trailer in and found the one barbecue grill that was out in the middle of the field all on its own. So as you can see, I did a pretty good number to the fender, bashed it in pretty good. Took a couple of bad hits on it, got a gouge in there. It just wasn't worth the time of pounding it out and Bondo and paint and all that shit. So it was a lot easier just to go over to a boneyard, find one and grab one. I did end up picking one up for 125 bucks, about 45 minutes from the house, unfortunately, but I was able to get one. So anyway, that is the project today, is replacing that fender. It's actually pretty darn easy. Again, I find myself fairly mechanically inclined, but I do get easily intimidated by this crap, but I have done a few projects on this truck so far, and it's actually been pretty friendly to work on. I have actually seen worse. My Lincoln LS was by far way over engineered compared to this. So anyway, as far as taking it off, I actually went from the bottom and worked my way up on it, and it actually really is not that bad. Once you pull all your plastic pieces off. Now, by the way, I did finally go out and get myself, just went to Harbor Freight and grabbed their removal tool kit, and for all your trim pieces, and that's actually coming pretty handy. I think that was like 12 bucks. Once you pop all your, all your different plastic pieces out, pull all this off, pull off the rubber trim, and peel all that back. You'll be able to see underneath, and you've got bolt here, bolt here, bolt here, another bolt there. Those are on the top side right there. Really easy to get to. They're all, I think, 10 millimeter. On the inside right here, if you pull the door open, it's no big deal. You can easily get to it. You can go from either the inside or the outside, either way. But there is another one right there. I would say probably the trickier part is that a couple of the those one-use plastic fittings that they have on the truck were a bit of a chore getting those out. Let's see. That is not one of them. Here we go. So they have these in several spots on the truck, mainly on the inside of this felt liner right here. And they have a pin in the middle that you push through, and then you're able to get the removal tool underneath it and pull it out. For the most part, I don't know if they're going to be reusable. I'm going to shove them back in anyway until I get some replacements. I'm sure they'll at least hold somewhat. When you pull the fender off, and I actually too, like any other time I watched, there was another video, I can't think of the gentleman's name, but he was working on a 2016 Durango on the passenger side, replacing a fender. It's almost identical to mine as far as the damage went. So I watched his video first and got a little bit of a see inside. Inside this felt liner right here, we've got this nice bit of insulation right there. I'm assuming it's just sound deadening. I doubt it does anything more than that. Maybe a slight bit of temperature, insulation. That packs in this area right here inside the fender well once you pull that felt away. And this piece right here just sits up in between. I got it, the wrong way. But it sits up in between and closes off the gap between the fender and the door. And again, I'm assuming that's just sound deadening. So both of those come out. Set those off to the side. I'd say probably the biggest ones to get to are pulling off your few pieces up front right here to get access to the where the bumper and the fender come together. That's a little bit more of a chore, but it really wasn't bad. Again, it had one or two of those push pins. I guess it probably isn't even bad as much as it was just intimidating, but really everything went fine. It didn't break anything. It was nothing too horrendous. Once I pulled that, pulled that away, pulled all those top bolts away, pulled those bolts away. that I left right here at the bottom of the truck, right there where that trim comes together. And again, you can see right there was 2 of those push pin styles. That holds this trim piece on right here. That trim piece wraps around on the outside edge. And that mounts in between the fender and all that. It just all comes together right there. So anyway, underneath the truck right here, I had to go under once you pull all that back, and it just kind of allows this to be freed up and loose a little bit. You have to go under the truck, and I'm not going to go under there, but right here, there is a 10 millimeter here and a 10 millimeter here. Again, most of the truck is 10 mils. Pulled those off, and then once everything was all loosened up and all the bolts removed, I was able actually just to slide that up and out as I pulled the whole fender away from the truck. So as everything came away, I was able just to kind of carefully slide that out without jamming it into the door and scratching the hell out of it. Hopefully this whole process in reverse won't be much worse. This is another thing that had to come away right here. That's just a weather sealer right there at the top of the fender. It really wasn't bad. I think I probably spent about, I don't know, between 30 and 40 minutes tearing it off the truck. And, you know, hopefully it'll be about the same amount of time going back. Let's see. I think the only other thing that I had here is something that I was not sure about. So my replacement fender came off of a 2014. It is also the, PXR, I think, is the paint code for this truck, for the black. It is the same paint code. I know it's a couple years difference. I know it may not match exactly, but it's still going to look a hell of a lot better 15, 20 feet away than it did. So we'll go with that for now and go from there. But anyway, this right here is the bracket. Right there on the bump that mounts. It mounts on the outside edge of the fender right here. That's where your last 2 bolts are hidden behind the bumper, and that's where it's kind of intimidating. You felt like you were going to tear everything apart, but really, once you get everything loose, the bumper just pops off and pulls away really easy. But anyway, right here, these tabs, both on here and on the bumper, where it all comes together, these all tend to break. I had one of them pop. Yeah, that one is broken right there. The other 2 did survive. I am going to go ahead and use some Plasta Weld on it. I'm sure that's not going to work, but I'm going to give it a shot and let it cure for a little while, and hopefully it'll hold. Maybe not. Give it a shot though for, you know what, I don't know, $6, $7 for a bottle of it. But anyway, the 2011 to 13 is this bracket right here. And the 2014 and up, I believe it went right up to 2020, and probably then after, uses a different style bracket. So make sure that the bracket that you have, regardless of your year, is the correct bracket for the truck. And again, 11 to 13 is this one, and they changed it very slightly. I have the other one down the basement. They actually sold it on the fender. It had a tab broken off though right here. So I was going to hope mine was in good shape, or I was going to order one. These things go for, I seen them for like 8 to 15 bucks. A couple places, for whatever ungodly reason, wanted like 35. But that was about it. That was pretty cheap. So that was readily available on Amazon or eBay. I think other than that, guys, it was pretty straightforward. It really was not that intimidating. I ended up turning the wheel to get access to everything front and back right there. The guy that I watched, he actually suggested pulling the wheel off, and you know what? I'm just lazy, but he ain't wrong. Pulling the wheel off probably would just be to your advantage if you want to take an extra 3 minutes to pull it off. Other than that, I'm going to slap this thing back together and hope for the best. I'll make one more recap video just to kind of show everything back on the truck. But just in case, it'll help you see kind of from the fender standpoint of how everything looked. Let you guys take a shot at seeing. Ugh, okay. So there's our damaged fender. But anyway, again, you've got 2 right there. Those are both 10 mils right there, 10 millimeter ones. And then across the top here, let's pull this back up. You've got 1 right there, 1 right there, 1 right there, and 1 right there. That's the one that's right there in between the door. And again, you can get it from either side with the door open, inside or outside. Outside was actually slightly easier. That one right there, that one is in the middle. You have to pull that insulation out, or you have to reach into that insulation. Again, that's that area that's all packed and filled in that I was showing right here. That's gonna be, yeah, right there. There's the mount for it right there. So again, this whole area is packed with all that, with that bag and that piece of foam right there. So you've got to pull both of those away to get to that. But again, no big deal. And then, and again, there's those last two at the bottom of the fender now. There's those last two that run underneath the truck. And once you pull those off, the only other thing you really got to do, obviously, I did this more in the beginning, was pulling all your plastic pieces off right there. And that was pretty much it. Again, the $12 toolkit from Harbor Freight sure did make a difference. It was very helpful. And a few dollars here and there for odds and ends. Again, if you want to get Plasti-Weld to try that for any of your pieces. And again, you can see on mine from damage years ago, my passenger one is the same way. The bumper's getting cracked and some of the tabs are getting broke. It's getting jacked up. Hopefully I can slam a whole crap load of Plasti-Weld in there and maybe do something with it. Why? Because I don't care. The parts are just getting old and used. And truck's getting up there in mileage anyway. Just trying to keep it looking nice for a couple more years. Tack another 30,000-40,000 miles on it and probably call it a day. I'll be around 180 by then, and I'm sure we'll be looking for a new family vehicle by then. So, like I said, I'll make one more video for you guys, just to kind of go back over it really quick. You may catch that video or you may just see this one, so I'll just kind of post them both. There you guys go. That is it. Like I've said before, this has been a damn good truck. One of my favorite vehicles we've ever owned. As much as people like the Bash Chrysler, I still have to say this is one of my favorites. It's actually been a really damn good truck. We bought it with 61,000 miles on it back in, I think, 2013 or 14. It was only a couple years old. And well, we're up to 142,000 now. I've barely put $1 into it. And obviously this right here, this is my fault. So it has nothing to do with the truck, obviously. So it's been really damn good. It's worth taking the, I don't know, 2 hours or whatever it's going to take me to pop a fender on it and have it look halfway decent again. I do got more stuff coming up in the future. The garage has done a number on the edge of the garage has done a job on the edge of the mirror, so I'll probably be doing a video soon enough on pulling the mirror off and replacing that. But wheels are starting to get bad on it. I did actually find one on eBay and purchased that for I think another $125. I had to pay shipping on it, which sucks. It was like $165 by the time it showed up at my door. But it was a Texas rim and it was a hell of a lot better shape. All the rust belt ones blow out the hubs right there, and one of mine was just absolutely all the finish on the polished finish face and everything was all destroyed, and it was time to go. But other than that, like I said, it's been a good truck. So throw this fender on it and get back to life with it. So that's it. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Hope this helps. If you got any questions, post them, and hopefully I can help you. See how it goes. Good luck.